Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into your body's own amazing fuel management system. We're going to find out exactly what happens to all those carbs you eat and how your body cleverly stores them for a rainy day. Let's get right into it.
So, picture this. You've just finished a huge, delicious pasta dinner. You're feeling full, maybe even a little bit sleepy. But what's actually going on inside you? Where does all that energy from the pasta go? Well, your body is suddenly faced with a problem of plenty. And believe me, it has an incredibly smart solution.
We're going to break it all down using a simple idea, thinking of your body as having an energy pantry. First, we'll see how you stock those shelves by building something called glycogen. Then, we'll see how you cash in on that stored energy when you need it. We'll also discover that you actually have two different kinds of pantries, one in your liver and one in your muscles. And finally, we'll pull it all together to see the big picture.
Okay, so back to that pasta dinner. Right after you eat, your bloodstream is flooded with glucose. It's way more than your body can use at that very second. And just like you wouldn't leave groceries scattered all over your kitchen floor, your body needs a way to neatly pack all this extra energy away for later.
And this is the magic solution right here, a molecule called glycogen. The best way to think about it is like this. Each little glucose molecule is like a single sugar cube. Glycogen is what you get when you link thousands of those sugar cubes together and pack them into these super compact containers, ready to be stocked on your pantry shelves. It's the perfect way to store energy for the short term.
Now, the official name for this whole process of building up our energy stores is glycogenesis. That's just a scientific term for stocking the pantry shelves when supplies are overflowing. It's an active process. It actually takes a little bit of energy now to save a whole lot more for later. And for this, you need a key employee. Meet the star of the show, glycogen synthase. Let's call it the master stocker. This enzyme's entire job is to grab those activated glucose units and link them together, one by one, forming these long, straight chains. These are the main shelves of your energy pantry, and they're held together by what we call alpha-1,4 bonds.
So the whole stocking process is basically a three-step deal. First, you've got to prep the glucose. It gets turned into a high-energy activated form. Then, our master stocker, glycogen synthase, gets to work building that main chain. But for really, truly efficient storage, there's one last, absolutely critical step. You've got to make it compact.
And this is where things get really clever. Say hello to our efficiency expert, the branching enzyme. It comes along, snips a whole chunk off that main chain, and then reattaches it as a side branch, creating a different kind of link, an alpha-1,6 bond. Now, why on earth would it do that? Well, it makes the entire glycogen molecule incredibly dense and compact. But even more importantly, it creates tons of new endpoints. And as you'll see in a minute, that's the secret to getting the energy out fast when you need it. It's all about smart packing for quick access later.
Okay, let's fast forward a few hours. The pantry is stocked. Now you decide to go for a run. Your body needs energy, and it needs it now. It's time to raid the pantry. This process, breaking down that stored glycogen for fuel, is called glycogenolysis.
The first responder for this job is glycogen phosphorylase. This is our quick access worker. It jumps into action and just starts rapidly chopping glucose units off the ends of all those chains, releasing a steady stream of fuel. It's super fast, super efficient, but it has one major weakness.
It works like a charm, flying down the chains until it gets too close to one of those branch points that our efficiency expert made earlier. And then, it just stops. It hits a roadblock. It literally cannot break that alpha-1,6 branch bond. So, what happens? Is all that energy just trapped? No way. Your body has another specialist on call.
And here it is. Enter the debranching enzyme. We can call this one the hard-to-reach item grabber. This enzyme is like a Swiss Army knife. It's a multi-tool that has two totally distinct jobs to make sure not a single bit of that stored energy goes to waste.
So here's how this amazing multi-tool works. First, its transferase job kicks in. It literally grabs most of the branch and moves it over to the end of a main chain. That leaves just one lonely glucose molecule stuck at the branch point. Then, its second job, its glucosidase activity, snips that final alpha-1,6 bond, releasing a single totally free glucose molecule. Nothing is wasted. It's an absolutely ingenious system.
So, when all is said and done, what do you get from this whole breakdown process? Well, you get two different kinds of fuel.
The vast majority of it, about 90%, comes off the main chains as something called glucose 1-phosphate. The other 10% or so is that free glucose that was snipped directly from the branch points by our specialist debranching enzyme.
Okay, so just when you think you've got this all figured out, the story takes a fascinating twist. It turns out you don't just have one big energy pantry. Nope, you actually have two of them, and they serve completely different purposes. Let's talk about the liver versus the muscles.
I want you to think of the liver as a generous community kitchen. It's the giver. It stores up all this glycogen with the sole purpose of sharing it with everyone. When your overall blood sugar gets low, the liver breaks down its pantry and releases glucose into the bloodstream for the entire body to use, especially your brain. But the muscle? Oh, the muscle is the user. It's a private stash. The glycogen stored in your muscles is selfish. It's for the muscle's use and the muscle's use only, providing instant fuel right where it's needed for contraction.
So what's the big secret? Why the different jobs? It all boils down to one single tiny but absolutely critical difference, an enzyme called glucose 6-phosphatase. Your liver has it. This enzyme is what allows the liver to turn its stored energy back into free glucose that can actually leave the cell and travel through the blood. Your muscles, on the other hand, do not have this enzyme. They lack it completely. So any energy they release from their glycogen stores is trapped inside the muscle cell, ready to be burned for energy right there on the spot.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've seen how we stock the pantry and how we rate it for supplies. Now, let's just take a final look at these two processes side by side to really lock it in.
Here it is, the ultimate cheat sheet. On one side, you have glycogenesis. That's the building process. It uses our master stocker and our efficiency expert, and it costs a little bit of energy to do. On the other side, you have glycogenolysis, the breaking down process. It uses our quick access worker and our hard-to-reach item grabber to release fuel. And just look at the beautiful symmetry here. The same types of bonds that get made are the exact same types that get broken, just by two totally different teams of specialized enzymes.
And really, that's the whole story in a nutshell. It's just so elegant. Your body is a true master of energy economics. It is incredibly efficient at storing energy during times of plenty, and just as fast at deploying it during times of need.
So the next time you hear someone talk about carb loading before a big race, or you're wondering what to eat after a really tough workout, remember your energy pantry. How does knowing about this amazing system of stocking up and cashing in change how you think about fueling your own body? It really makes you think, doesn't it? Thanks so much for joining me.